Okay, so let's prep our melon. First thing I'm going to do with this cantaloupe is slice off the ends. And by taking a quick look, I see that it's nice and orange in the middle and see how green it is around the end. So this is about how far in I'm going to have to cut. And I can tell by the nice orange color that this is a ripe melon. So that's good. So cut off both ends. And then I'm just going to slice it down the middle in half. My knife is not sharp enough. That's why I am struggling so much with this. Okay, so I'm going to put this in my compost pile. And as you can see, my two halves are not exactly halves, but that's okay. So I'm going to start with the smaller one, and I'm just going to use this spoon and gently run around the edge of this inner circle so I can just easily scoop out the seeds. And I should have gone a little bit deeper so I can get them all out once in one scoop. And kind of like all seeds, we don't want those on our cutting board because then they can get mixed into our fruit and then they make it harder to keep it clean. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to very carefully cut around the side of the melon. And I want to cut off all the green and just a tiny bit of orange. That way I can maximize the amount of fruit that I get out of my melon and minimize the amount of fruit that I'm wasting. But I do want to make sure that I get all of that green off. It tends to be a little bitter. It's totally safe to eat. It just does tend to be bitter, and the kids will not enjoy it as much. So for that reason, I am trying, maybe cutting a little bit deeper than I might if somebody else is eating it. Okay, so these are pretty good. They're mostly green with just a hint of orange. This one was my first one, so it's a little bit too heavy, a little heavy-handed there. I took off a little bit too much fruit. I'm going to lie it down on the middle side, which is nice and flat, and I'm just going to make these nice, even cuts across the melon. And then, as you can see, there's going to be a hole in the middle. So I'm going to take one that doesn't have a hole so I can slice that. And as you can see right here, there's a little bit of green, so I'm just going to cut that off now, and then you can always go back and fix up your melon. So then I'm going to stack these two because this is flat on this side. This one has a hole, so it's not going to be as stable. And I'm just going to slice that gently in half, rotate, and then just cut it into chunks. I'm going to repeat that. Well, no, this one I'm just going to cut into chunk-sized pieces. And I want these pieces to be about the size of a spoon. That way it's large enough for the kids to handle when they're making salad or when they are making their fruit skewers or when they're just trying to snack. And so that's how I'm going to cut up my melon for anything that the kids are using it for.